Welcome, welcome. A little Sunday afternoon baseball. Give it a bit here and see if we get anybody to tune in. But with our Shanks Bingo Draft League, I thought I'd show off some of the updates since all the rosters now have the 30-man teams assembled. And I've got some of the teams that have given me their team name and mascot, and I've even worked some logos in, been working on player photos and all that good stuff. So thought I'd show some of that off, as well as just play a test game. Have a little fun on a Sunday afternoon. And for those just tuning in, big thanks to Beatles Eternally, who's been running his Dead Ball Ned McGreevy League that kind of spawned a lot of other interest in some what if drafts we could do. And a big thanks to Todd B for coming up with probably one of the best ideas I've ever seen in a draft league of throwing some randomness into it, where we were just given a random year and then you had to pick a player based on their season from that year. Once a year was used three times, it was removed, and then that couldn't be. No players from that year could be drafted. What we found was we've got 12 teams in this league. Got some really unusual all-time great teams. We also limited to only 5 Hall of Famers, which made it challenging. And as a result, there's many Hall of Famers that aren't in the league. So tons of variety. Had a blast with how we assembled this league. Then we went into 2 rounds and just drafted Negro League players because I've been working on the Negro League all-time greats based on their best 3 years. So we held a draft for 2 rounds. So each of us have 2 Negro League players that don't count against our 5 Hall of Famer limits. So that's good. But as you can see now, we're starting up. We've got somebody with us here checking in. We're starting to replace the name of the owners with the team names and mascot they wanted to go with. So for example, Beatles, up here, his team, we click on them, the Mudville Nines. Take a look here. And let's see here if I've got that logo. Let me assign his logo. I think I dropped it in here. It's probably not going to stick because it's too large. So I have to fix. I know if you ever mess with logos or pictures and the naming convention's too long, just shorten it up. If you're not getting it to show in the game, that's one of the reasons. So we'll have to get his set. We've got MV with Manchester. So if we look at his team, you can see I've just added MV as the manager, and then we've got the city and name. He's going with the Manchester Red Bolts. I think I'm using all caps on that. So we've got Manchester right here, and I went ahead and found a logo and just kind of threw some colors together and created a logo for him. So we've got that. Another team that I think we've got assembled so far would be Ken Castro, who has the Sweet Clams. His city's the Ocean State, nicknamed Sweet Clams. So we've got that one assembled with a logo. So he's all ready to go. And you can see some of the pictures I have in for Ken Castro's team, not all of them yet, because I started working on these when we had the first probably 10 to 15 draft rounds complete and started putting those in. And now I'm up to where we have some of the teams completely done with all 30 players having roster photo options for them. And we're still missing some here. So we can see we got Bryce Harper, but some of the other ones that were later in the rounds we don't have yet, like Suzuki and Utley and some of the other ones here. Take a look at some of the pictures. So if we go over to player photos, we can see just how many of Ken's teams are done. Player photos are done. So take a look at, got Ernie Banks. I know we don't have Chad Cordero. One of the things I did too is just make sure that there's a couple options. So If somebody doesn't like that picture, try to give at least two, sometimes three or four more, depending on the player. So got Bob Feller on his team, Griffey Jr., Bryce Harper. I haven't imported many other ones yet for Ken. Let's see who else. Feaster, Billy Rines, Pete Rose. Got his photo. Got some options for Pete Rose as well. Um, Mike Schmidt's in there. Have not. Hey, Todd B. I'm going to play a game here, Todd B, and have some fun with it. But let's take a look at Todd B's team. So Todd B, I'm waiting. Todd B will eventually have a team name and a mascot, and I'll look for a logo to throw with it. But just taking a look at your team, and you can see I don't have all of your players done, but we do have some of them built. And I was just saying that I'm given a few options, so you can see there's a couple different Aaron photos if anybody wanted to toggle through them. I think I got some of your team done with the first 10 to 15 rounds. I haven't brought in the Negro League players, but here's Bill Dickey. In fact, I was working on Todd B's stuff here. Hank Greenberg, Billy Hamilton, Todd Helton, Carl Hubbell's in there, Shoeless Joe. See who else we might have done here. Otani's done. Dave Parker. Oh, you bet, Todd. What I'm going to do is I'll probably give everybody a link to my. I've got a media fire site where I can give you the link and you can just download the photo packs once I have them all done and checked out and all that good stuff. So just getting yours assembled. The one thing I noticed is when we imported for whatever reason, it messed up some of the nicknames. So I'm going to be going back and cleaning that up too for the file as well. But here's Vern Stevens. Got a couple pictures for Vern Stevens, and if we want to use that one, just hit use that photo. So, oh, you're not going to screw it up, Todd B. There's no way you could screw this up, right? You just pop it in and make it unzip it and make it its own league, and then every time I send out an update, you can just zip that one in and pop into the to that league that you want to see and take a look at where we're at. But we have all the 30-man rosters done. I've started. I'm going to go with the Albuquerque Coyotes as the team name. He said I've got a logo down here. I did some colors. I've got, I think it's Cleveland Spiders is Big Clue. He's picked Scheib in 1929, so I have that set to 1929 Scheib, and I think he's one of the teams all the player photos are done for here. So what you do, Todd, is there's already going to be a folder, so I think I've got it set up that way. So if you go and look at this Howie Shanks Bingo League, or if you want to create one, hey, Big Clue, hey, Beatles, here's what I'd say you can do. When you go to your setup over here, whoops, sorry, wrong, rules, just make sure that this under the rules is set under general here. And, oh, where is it? Oh, right here, info, under rules, and you'll see right here it says locate players in subfolder. Click that button, and then when you go to look at your player photos, when you have that button clicked, let me show you what it looks like. Then if you go to your player photos, go to my DK Sports, baseball, player photos. So when I go to player photos, you'll see I can just have these that show up, or I have specific ones now for this. So you can see right here, if you go click that box, anytime you load a folder or create one, it's going to create a subfolder in the player photo so that you can have specific ones just for that league file. So you can see here I have Howie Shanks Bingo Draft League. So I have that set up and I can drop the photos I want for our league right in here. You can start seeing um, that. Yeah, so what you do, Todd, is like whatever, we have that file name, Howie Shanks Bingo League or whatever. When it comes in, it should already have that rules area checked, so there should be a subfolder. So you would just go over here to your DK Sports baseball player photos, and you would find the subfolder that was named for the league we're using. It's probably going to be Howie Shanks Bingo Draft League or something like that, because I'm still when I have the final one, and then you just pop that up and then unzip everything into that folder, and then you'd have just the photos showing up for that league. It's that simple. So yeah, glad some of you are tuning in. I'm going to play a game here, but I was just highlighting some of the. I'm going to go over here and change Beatles' logo so I can show him what I've got to do here. And I'm just going to change the name here to Mudville. Let's copy that, and then I'm going to go over here to my team logos, and you'll see here, I paste this in here. I've got a Mudville logo for you, Beatles, right here. So I can get rid of this one. The name, sometimes if you have things that won't stick, just shorten the name. I found out that sometimes there's a character limit for logo and even player photos. So now if I take a look at Mudville here, let's see if this will show me. Oh, sometimes you have to exit the game and come back out. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to spend about 10, 15 minutes here walking you all through kind of what the teams look like now. And then I'm going to fire up a game. And I think I'm going to play on the road my team against Clue, only because Clue actually has a logo. I've got all of his stuff done. His player photos are done. And he's in Shibe Park in 1929. And I already have that assigned. So it might be cool to see a game with all of the bells and whistles already complete for it. So let me pop this up. So here we go. Let's go to Beatles team, Mudville. And let's go assign the bells and whistles. Yeah, big clue. I'm all about bells and whistles. I had a blast today doing some more teams. So if we go down, should have a Mudville option that should stick this time. Mudville right here. Boom. See what we got. So there you go. Beatles wanted to be the Mudville 9. I found a logo that was out there that said it. I know he mentioned he wanted some black and white in there. I gave him a little red trim to match his logo, but you can see uh, his team black and white. We could even give him some white background in there, change it up. So Beatles has all of his photos done for his players, so we can take a look at his lineup right here. And there's his favorite players. You can see Wally Bachman right there in the bunting um, formation. We've given Beatles a lot of crap over this Bachman. He's going to beat us all in some game for sure. Yeah, Beatles, if you got a great logo for the league, send it, and then I'll pop it in here for sure. It's got Clyde Barnhart, Johnny Bench, and again for most of you, I've got except unless it's a real rare player. Aaron Reed found some players it was hard to find some pictures for, but I've tried to give at least two, if not three or four photo options. So here's some different ones for Johnny Bench. If you want one of him catching, I kind of like this one there. Mookie Betts, Ripper Collins. There's a couple for Ripper Collins here. Manuel Cueto's got a couple. So just trying to have, here's Ray Dandridge, who Beatles picked up in the Negro League draft. We had 2 rounds of those. Larry Doyle, um, Woody English, Carl Erskine. A couple of these I just finished today. Dick Groat, and I've got Groat also for the Pirates, right? So if you want to see him in a pirate uniform, he's got Catfish Hunter, Mad Dog Madlock. Even threw a picture in here if you want to see him for the Cubs. But I know Beatles drafted him for one of the years, I think it was 1980 or so, that he happened to be. Um, can we show Clues players in action striking out? We might get to see that in actual live action here in a moment. Andrew McCutcheon, Doggy Miller, also known as George Doggy Miller. There's some pictures of him. Stan the Man Musial, kind of a nice one there, and a little older picture. Kid Nichols, got a few pictures of him. Claude Osteen, Roy Oswalt, Deacon Philippe. Got anything different? There's Deacon Philippe. Vada Pinson, who, when we did the first autoplay Beatles, I don't know if I mentioned it the other night or you heard it, but he led the league in the first autoplay I ran in hitting. And this is a guy you picked up in the supplemental draft, the last five. So looks like this guy's going to be really good for some reason. Albert Pujols. Of course, he's got Jackie Robinson. We got a couple of different pictures of Jackie. Johnny Sane, Dizzy Trout, Andy Van Slyke, Bucky Walters, Ed Williamson. I just found different pictures of him today. We got Ed Williamson and Eddie Yost, who played for Detroit the year you got him, but also put in some picture here with the Senators. So just a little example of how I'm trying to get our teams. I think there's probably 4 or 5 teams I have completely done with all the photos. Every team has some done. Who are we waiting on? Trying to think. Um, okay, Sports Time Machine. Let's take a look at Sports Time Machine. I haven't brought. Let's see if we've got any. I don't think I've brought any of Sports Time Machine stuff in yet. Todd B. We looked at. Let's took MV. MV's team is assembled. Take a look at Big Clue here, because what I'm going to do is I've got Big Clue's stadium and all the years set up and everything. I've got World's Worst Gamer, who he's got his own. Oh, let me go back and see where his isn't showing up. I don't think. I've got the Sarnia Sluggers set up for him to bring in, so I've got a logo for his players here. But I think all of his players are done too. Yeah, got Honus Wagner. I know this is killing Beatles because look, I have different photos available to show up for Honus Wagner. I think Beatles would have loved to have Honus Wagner on his team, and while trading is open, maybe that happens. Um, he picked up Roy White, got Wilbert Wood, um, Steve O'Neill. But just a really cool team. The neat thing for me is as I do the photos for everybody's teams, it really gets me familiar with the uniqueness of each team. So I'm getting a kick out of that, kind of looking at all the players, because I think we're so focused on our team or players we didn't get. It's just giving me time to really dig deep and see what everybody's roster looks like and realize that you can run some auto plays like I did with the computer manager, but there can be some drastic wins and losses based on how you choose to set up your righty versus lefty platooning, your pitching rotation, pitcher roles, right? So I just ran a basic computer manager, but I noticed for many teams, there's guys that I would have never had on the bench that often. I think Hank Aaron was only getting 40 or 50 at bats depending on whatever team he was on. So even though we've run some auto plays and some teams might feel like they haven't done very good, realize that you can put your thumbprint on the team and really make a big difference as to how you utilize the players and lineup selection and things like that. So yeah, I agree, Ty. But I get I big baseball card kid, and I just love the window dressing, the bells and whistles. It just really adds a lot to the experience, right? Yeah, and Clue, I agree. I looked at some of those and I'm like, man, I don't know what they're doing. So I don't know if they're looking at maybe at bats, uh, trying to get somebody more at bats replicated versus maybe somebody that had a little bit less but had a higher average. There's just some wonky things that go on. So this satisfies my kind of my digital baseball card thing. It's fun to go and play around, kind of colorizing. Like this Ray Boone picture right here is colorized. I mean, I just ran it through a free colorizer and it gave me something that looks halfway decent there versus black and white photos. So I've been really happy and I'm getting quicker at churning these out. So I think by next weekend, I hope to have pretty close to all of our teams done with photo packs. I just think it'll be fun. The same thing with the custom logos that we can have for everybody to download on your end to use, because I think that makes it fun as well. So here's Big Clues team. I got him the Cleveland Spiders Baseball Club logo, and let's take a look at some of the players he's got on here. LaJoy or Lajoie. I always called him LaJoy, and now I realize it's probably Lajoie. It's got Judd Wilson. Yeah, some of these nicknames, it's really odd. I'm going to have to go through Beatles just so you're aware. I'll be going through and resetting. Sometimes when we import from existing seasons and all that, I'm noticing the nickname field gets a little wonky or whatever, and I'm just going to double check all our rosters and make sure all the right nicknames are in there and things. There's no weird nickname. Um, just a little quality control on that. I think this was Big Clue's first pick, if I'm not mistaken. He drew 1987, and he came with Alan Trammell, which in 1987, Alan Trammell had a great year for a shortstop. Um, and Big Clue has Scheib, 1929. Here's one of my favorite players growing up too, Bill Freehan. Got a couple pictures of him catching, batting, or whatever. So Noodles Hahn, got Sal Bando, few for him. Dale Alexander for the Detroit Tigers. Had a couple great years. He's got Dolph Camilli as a first baseman, along with Dale Alexander. We got Pete Reiser in the outfield, Phil Reagan, and of course he's got Mickey Mantle out there in center. And he's also got Tris Speaker on the team. I got a few different photos for Tris Speakers too as well. Maybe we'll use this one for the game or whatever. But Smokey Joe Wood, it's got him, Jacob DeGrom. So Clue's got a really, see, look at this. It's bringing in Randy Johnson's nickname. So I can easily go through her and clean up some of those that brought over the wrong nicknames. And it's definitely something I want to do before we're playing this, because there's no way I could stand having the wrong, nickname applied to somebody. It drives me nuts. Todd B, we don't really have any off the board. I mean, well, here's what I know. I haven't selected a park I'm going to play mine in. I think we have, let's take a look. So we have Ken Castro, who's grabbed Jerry Park in Montreal in 1969. We have 1929 Scheib. We have World's Worst Gamer that's still trying to determine, but I think World's Worst had Crosley Field. I think that's all we have. I don't think Beatles has not selected kind of his park or year for the park yet. So I don't really have any others. I think we've just got three right there. Let me see. Yeah, World's Worst is still determining. So I haven't put his in because he's the Sarnia Sluggers. And we'll end up going with that. Okay, Beatles, what year would you like? So let's take a look at this. Let's go, we could set him up right here. We'll go to Mudville. He likes Sportsman. Are you going to take the American League or National League version of Sportsman, Beatles? That's the key question. And I can show you a little bit about what you might want. Okay, so let's assign you to National League. So we're going to assign him to, we'll come back to the year. Let's go with Sportsman Park 3. It's the most. Okay, so now let's go and look at ballparks. So we go to ballparks. Let's go to Sportsman 3 and see the years. If you want a different year, so go to regular Sportsman 3. We're going to see it ends in 65, right? And you got a run of about 1909 to 65 for the National League. And here's what you could look at, Beatles. If we go through here, if you look at like 65, that means your 55% increase for left-handed home runs or 51% for right. So you can look at the park statistics, meaning it's about 1.5, right? Because an average park is 100. 55 means it would be 1.5 would be the multiplier. And so if you just go backwards here from 65, you can start seeing. So here's one where your left-handed batters really have an uptick in home runs, right? So it's kind of, what do you want? What are you looking for? Are you looking to exploit like a home run year, or are you looking to limit it? And you'll see here some of these years where it gets closer to zero, meaning a neutral or average park. You can see left-handed, huge advantage on home runs that year. So it's really just thinking about, you could go into your file and look at Sportsman 3 and just figure out, hey, which one of these years? Here's one that's almost close to neutral, right? Not much hurt or help on home runs. That's usually the one that I look at. Below average home runs. It's like if you're trying to limit a home run team coming in against you or exploit. Um, yeah, and that's the key, Todd. What do you do, right? I mean, one advantage is one pro is a con in another way, right? So it's really balanced. And there's 46 is a pretty even year. Or if you're, here's one where both, if you're trying to limit home runs, Beatles, then you could look at 44 where homers are way down for both left and right-handed batters. So to me, it just depends if you want to come in here in your ballpark factors and take a look at that. You can see the same data if you don't have this game by going over to seam heads and looking at park factors um, as well. But we go back and look at this one. If you really wanted to exploit left-handed home run power, 1941 would be the year to put him in. Yeah, and if your pitching's weak, you might want to look for like a more of a pitcher year to help your pitchers out. There's 1935. Look at that. Homers are reduced a great deal. So to me, that stands out, Beatles, for you. Like right here, 1935 would be a good one if you're looking to just make it more of a pitcher's park. Um, So Sportsman 3, I guess that has 1909 to 65 covered, but yeah, 1935 looks like it's the one. Or 23. That's a total of 75 down. This is still the biggest one. That's 90 points overall down. So just for grins, what we could do is just say, okay, 1935 Sportsman. And if you ever want to change it, okay, 1946, he says, perfect. So we can go right back here. And it's always important if you're doing this to not mess with the players, because remember, we need to know where the players originally came from. So he's going to be in Sportsman Park 3, which is a National League park, and he wants 1946. And we assign the team to the year. We don't go down here and hit this because this will change them all and make the game think they came from this specific year. So we just go right here. Boom. And the cool thing now is when we go to bio, you can see that it still shows where their stats were put up. So we know Kid Nichols is coming from 1892 South End grounds, but now he's being transported into 1946 Sportsman for those park factors. Um, so it's kind of an interesting way to think about, how the game adjusts for that. Todd B. Field of Dreams in Iowa. Yeah, I have Parker fading back there. So good. We've got Beatles logo is set. It's looking good. So I'm going to fire up a game here, play through it real quick to see, have some fun. We've got the team we want to, somebody wants to see strike out a lot. Let's see if that happens. I was looking for everybody's name now that I've changed it. I'm like, oh yeah, Cleveland. Let me take my Albuquerque team. I'm going to be the Albuquerque Coyotes. Let's pick a date. How about a July 4th game here? Day game. Let me human set these right now. See if we can have some fun here. Let's see what the computer does. I kind of like to always see what the computer sets in here. And let me see who I'm going to pitch. Let me go look at the view opponent. I saw Koufax pitch when I played a game the other day. This time, I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Bob Gibson. So I got Bob Gibson on the mound. Is there anybody, Clue? Let me know. Is there anybody that you'd like to see pitch against Bob Gibson? Look at this lineup. He's got Speaker DHing and Mantle in center. Give Greinke a try. All right, let's do it. Let's bring Greinke in. Any batters you see on here you don't care for? Let's take a. Here's the other thing. If those of you that don't play a lot of this game that I love is if you're making a lineup, since we know that he's going to face a right-hander, you can come over here and go batting versus left and right. And this is what I love. If I want to look at OPS versus right, it lets me know that if he's playing a right-hander, this guy Bill Joyce has a great OPS versus right. So this would probably be a guy maybe you want to try to get in the game, different things like this. So this is a great view to go. Same thing. If you're going to face a lefty, you could come over here and just cycle it for lefties, and you can see who already is in the lineup. I agree 100%. So if we look at that, let's take a look at Speaker is an 8, Mantle. So yeah, I would change that right away too. I'd put Speaker in center and DH Mantle. This Bill Joyce looks like, but yeah, you've got Speaker there as a lefty, Mantle. I'm trying to think what other positions look good here, OPS wise. Judd Wilson, I don't I hope you don't mind, Clue, but Bando righty on righty. I'm going to put Judd Wilson in at third base because he's got a much higher OPS and he's a lefty. I probably on stolen bases too. Let's take a look here. Speaker's down a little bit on there. Yeah, so I think Lajoie, Speaker. We got Herman and Wright, Berkman. So you're going to have a lot of. I bring Judd Wilson up here over Trammell, but I think we're going to roll with this unless. Now, what the heck? Let's give freehand a start. I'm going to roll with this. So now let me look at mine. I can computer line up mine. Let's see what I have versus a righty. Wow, Dick Allen still really good versus right-handed hitters. In fact, I might want to DH him. So I like Charlie Smith leading off. We go Hornsby, Mays, Kolozewski, Allen. Well, what the heck? I think I'm going to roll with that lineup as is right there. You can see one thing about me is I don't have a ton of lefties, right? I've got Willie Wilson. Oh yeah, you're right. And this is what happens when you hit and try to get the computer lineup to give you a head start. You got to realize that it will change your pitchers. It's a good reminder. Let's put him back in. I think we're good. So let's roll out.
Play ball.
So let me go to. You guys let me know if the audio's too loud. Yeah, so we can see we've got the pictures over here. I like these. I can even make the pictures a little bit bigger. Let's take a look at this park layout. Main batter, we'll make it a little bit larger. So got some larger pictures, but anyway, got a pretty good view of the field here. This is one of the pictures that I'm going with. I can also switch that up and go to I may try this other one I've got because I've got an alternate that's a little bit different, and I kind of like this one. Kind of a nice little grainier look, a little old-time look. And I think I'm going to stick with this one. And I think we can ballpark layout this one. Good, good, good. We'll make this one just a little bit larger. And hey, there we go. Maybe that's too big. I might change that as I sit here and just try to tweak some of this stuff. This is a fun thing about the game. So let me go up here and we're going to see how Cleveland, with the manager, he's got Zach Greinke on the mound today on a July 4th game. A little bit of drizzle rain, it looks like. Very light wind today. Yeah, big clue. I agree. He's talking about Geno Smith. That was really, really a great pickup for me in right field because of he's a Gold Glove out there. He's a real strong bat, and I didn't have a ton of left-handed pitching. In fact, that's the one weakness my team has is I don't have depth with left-handed pitching. But all right, let's see what we've got here. Greinke's going to deliver the first pitch, and he quickly gets a strikeout. So just as I'm talking up Charlie Smith, there you go. That's what usually happens, right? So Roger Hornsby steps up. If we look over here at Hornsby, 380 on this line. This is a 1929 Hornsby that I was my first pick of the draft when I drew that. I mean, just a great year. And he's slightly above average as a 7 at second base. So it was like, wow, couldn't pass up him. So here's the pitch to Hornsby. Well, I thought it was a pitch to Hornsby. A hush comes over the crowd. I've never seen this happen before. Might be because I got a ton of weird stuff going on over here I was just closing. So, yeah, what the heck is that? Shouldn't. What in the world was that? So, let's try that again. See what we're doing here. Well, here we go. We got Charlie Smith up again. Sorry, he struck out the first time. Let's see what the heck's going on this time. We had to start off again. It's going to be an out, but this time it's a fly out. Had to start the game. There was some kind of a weird freeze. Uh-oh. And it's out of here. How about that? Goes from a strikeout to the redo, and now it's a home run. Had no idea why that game froze. I have never seen the game ever do something like that where it was just kind of stuck after the pitch waiting for the hit. So here we go. Now we got Hornsby up. Hornsby sends one out to left field. Looks like Berkman might get to this one. And he makes the catch. A great play. A great play by a 4 range rated Berkman out into left field. Now we got the Say Hey Kid Willie Mays up. Pitch from Greinke. Greinke out to center field. We've got the Gray Eagle playing center today. And he makes the catch. Here's the Big Clue taking on Big Clue's team. This has got to seem really awkward for the Big Clue that I got his idol here on my team. I'm glad I did. And here's a hard hit ball out into center field again. Speaker going back, and he will make the catch. So, 1 run, 1 hit on the opening home run by Chino Smith, and it's 1-0 Albuquerque after the first inning. So here comes Lajoie. Bob Gibson on the mound. You can see Gibson's .852 whip. This is that 1968 season. It's just a stellar season, right? I mean, look, 198 hits in 305 innings pitched. He struck out 268. So it's just a tough, tough pitcher that year. Here's the pitch. Lajoie sends this one out to left field. Albert Bell looks like he's got it, and he makes the catch. Now, yeah, Big Clue's hating on me because of that. Albert Bell was a guy picked up in the last 5 rounds. We did a supplemental to have 30 so that we could care for injuries and that kind of stuff, and it was a real steal for me. I mean, I've got him to where he's starting out there. I've got Willie Wilson too, if I want to come in with a left-handed or a switch hitting bat and more speed. And I think Willie Wilson's a little bit better range, but man, Bell's just a monster that season. So here's Speaker. Gibson fires. Ground ball, Miguel Tejada. Looks like he has it. Throw over to first, and he gets the out. Big Clue, you'll also notice I was surprised with 1954 Klazuski that he's a 9 rated first baseman. I think that might be the highest fielding range rating for any of the years he played. So not only do I get a hot bat that year, but I get a great fielder. I was happy with Miguel Tejada. I picked him up kind of late in the round 2 at shortstop. Not a huge fan of Tejada or Adrian Beltre, but when you get thrown those years, you look at position needs, and I got lucky. So here is Babe Herman, left-handed batter who batted .393. And he sends this one out to left field. Bell looks like he's closing in on it. And he makes the catch. So no runs, no hits, no errors after 1. It's still 1-0 Albuquerque. And Zach Greinke, who's a 9 rated range on the mound. Dick Allen, who looks like a little soft pop-up down the third baseline. At the drama. Nice slow ball. Wilson giving chase. I don't know if he's going to get back into the stands or he's going to make the catch. And he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Here's Albert Bell. Again, those numbers at .317 hitter, hit 50 home runs, over a 1 OPS. Just a great pickup. And Greinke gets the strikeout. Another player I picked up in 2012, I think it was, when I was dealt that year. I would have never thought in an all-time greats I would have Buster Posey as a catcher, but he was wonderful that year. So here's Posey. Pitch from Greinke, and Posey sends one back up the middle. Speaker looks like he'll track it down for the out. And again, after 1.5, Albuquerque 1-0. Bob Gibson getting ready to fire to Dolph Camilli. Camilli here, .316 hitter, 28 home runs. Over a 1 OPS, left-handed batter. He walks. Big Clue did a great, I think Big Clue probably has the most over 1 OPS players on the roster. I haven't verified that, but my gut tells me that's true. So here's Lance Berkman. Another left-handed bat in today against Gibson, and Gibson fires him away for a strikeout, and 1 down for Mickey Mantle. Mantle, the DH today, whiffs, and that's the second strikeout of the inning. We got 2 gone, and third baseman Judd Wilson steps up. Great hitter. Here's the pitch, and Wilson strikes out. So after that leadoff walk, we get 3 straight strikeouts by Bob Gibson. I don't think I'm surprised with that. I'm just glad to see it happen. Adrian Beltre up, third baseman. Greinke with the pitch. He sends this one out to center field. Seems like Speaker's made a few grabs out there, and he'll make another one for the out. Here's Miguel Tejada. Here's the pitch. Tejada pops it up. Other than that redo first inning home run for Chino Smith, boy, nothing really hard hit by the Coyotes today. And Camilli makes that catch, and we got 2 away. So here's Charlie Smith, known as Chino. hit a solo homer down the left field line his last time up. And Smith sends this one up in the infield. Should be an easy put out for Lajoie. And he makes the catch, and we're out of the inning. So after 2.5, still a 1-0 ball game. So here's Alan Trammell, that great 1987 season. Big Clue's first pick in the draft, facing Gibson. Ground ball. Miguel Tejada looks like he's got it. Makes the throw over to first, and it's in time. We got Bill Freehand stepping up. Great catcher. Let's take a look at Freehand's card here. Great fielder. He's a 10 rated catcher. Can play a little bit of first base. Got a 6 arm. Not a bad batter when you consider the eras he was batting in. And he hits this one hard. Way back to center field. Willie Mays makes the catch. It's a deep center field here. 468 to dead center field. Lajoie steps in. Lajoie was flown out down the left field line to Albert Bell his first time out. Here we go. Out to right field. This one, Lajoie, it's gonna be gone. Oh, it's off the wall. I thought that was a goner. Forgot that big, tall fence out there, and Lajoie makes a double. Let's take a look at the replay on that. Off the wall. Lajoie with a stand-up double, but Hornsby, what just happened here? Got a deep fly ball off the wall, stand-up double, but Hornsby just tagged Lajoie and he's out. So I don't know if he put the rest of the glove on his leg and Lajoie barely slid past it or stepped off, but what the heck? It was a double, and then he didn't stay on base, and that ended the inning. So here we go. We got Rogers Hornsby up. He flew out down the left field line. It's first time up. Here's a hard hit ball out into center field. It looks like that one gets down in front of Speaker, and Hornsby's on board with a single. Willie Mays up. Flew out to center field. This is Mays based on his 1962 season. There's the pitch, and it's a ground ball through the hole for a single. Hornsby will hold up at second. And we've got 2 on, no out, and the Big Clue up. This is probably what the Big Clue, our Big Clue, doesn't want to see, having to face the real Big Clue. Big year for Kluszewski. This is 1954 season. Here's the pitch. Big Clue. Looks like he's going to pull one foul. And just gets into the seats. The pitch. Kluszewski sends one out to deep center field. Looks like Speaker's going to grab it. I don't know if we'll have a tag opportunity. Hornsby's got a 58% chance. I'm going to say no thank you. We'll stay right there at second. We got Richie Allen stepping in here. 308 hitter. Let's take a look at his numbers, because if you look right here, a little oddity, right? He's a right-handed batter, but if you look at this, his splits that year are better against right-handed. So that's why he's in the lineup at DH. So we got 1 down. Runners at first and second. Here's the pitch to Dick Allen. He sends one out to left field. Doesn't look deep. Berkman's going to make the catch. And we've got 2 away. So Greinke looking to get out of this inning, letting the first 2 runners on. And we have Albert Bell up. Let's see what Albert Bell's splits are. Bell again. This is a great option to have. He's a much better batter than he is versus lefties, and he's a right-hander. So sometimes I know I hear arguments on here for people, oh, generic splits are better than this. I'm just telling you, sometimes these seasons, players really kind of defied the odds when it comes to the historical split. So here's Greinke with the pitch, looking to get out of the inning. Bell puts it on the ground to Judd Wilson, who will get it over to Lajoie for the force at second and get Greinke out of a jam. So here's the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker, grounded to short his last time up. Pitch from Gibson, he sends this one out. Willie Mays looks like he's going to make the catch, and he does. He's got one away. Babe Herman flied out his last time up. Steps in, sends this one back up the middle. Hornsby, with decent range, makes the play over to first for the out. So here's the first baseman for the Cleveland Spiders, Dolph Camilli. Left-handed batter. And you'll see, as you would expect, he's definitely, as a lefty, a lot better against right-handed pitchers. So he's playing first base today. Pitch from Gibson, and he strikes him out to get out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors. We've got 4 complete. Still a 1-0 Albuquerque lead. Buster Posey stepping in. And here's a fly ball out to Berkman. Looks like an easy play. Berkman makes the catch. We got one away. Adrian Beltre. I see Big Clue saying he likes some of the players on my roster. Gooden and Dick Allen. Here's the pitch to Beltre, who sends this one out to center field. Speaker makes the catch, and he's got it. Looks like Speaker and Berkman have had a lot of action so far through 4 innings. Miguel Tejada at the plate, and he strikes out. So Greinke has really settled in. He gave up that one first pitch home run to Chino Smith, and after that, it's been really a pitching duel between Greinke and Gibson. Here's Lance Berkman, and he strikes out. Take a look at Gibson today. In the replay, he's got strikeout number 5 right there so far. Mickey Mantle steps in, and he sends this one out to right field. This one could be it, and it looks like this one will clear the fence. And just like that, the home team is happy as Mickey Mantle has tied this game up. I'm sure the coach, Big Clue himself, is happy with that. We've got a 1-1 ball game. Here's Judd Wilson. And a strikeout. So here's Alan Trammell. His first time up, he grounded out to Adrian Beltre. And this time he draws a walk. MVP. Yeah. Look at that, Big Clue. Here's what I'm worried about. Gibson has a hold rating of 1, meaning he's, and you can see Alan Trammell's got an 85%. So I'm wondering if the AI is going to go for it. So I threw a pitch out just to see and wasted a ball there, but see what happens. Oh, Freehand sends one way out to center field. Willie Mays has got it and makes the catch for the out. So we're knotted at 1 after 5 innings. And here's Chino Smith. He hit that home run and then popped out. And this time he strikes out. So Greinke's really settled in. We've got a heck of a pitcher's duel. Hornsby strikes out. So Greinke is really on fire right now. So we got Willie Mays in. Mays sends one out to center. Boy, there's been a lot of balls out to center field. Tris Speaker makes the catch, and we're out of the inning. So after 5.5, still a 1-1 game. Here's Lajoie, who did double his last time up and then missed the bag, stepped off the bag, and was tagged out. So here he is. It's like a little pop-up in the infield. It's like a high pop-up in the infield. Bell's coming in to back up Beltre in case it bounces off his head. Looks like Beltre makes the catch. We got one away. Here's Tris Speaker, ground out and flown out. Take a look at Speaker's card. He is based off 1925. And here, I know his nickname is the Gray Eagle and not Bad Bill, which means I need to go through the master file, clean some of that up. But you can see here, he's great. Another anomaly here, right? He's a lefty that bats .376 against righties, but look how good he is against left-handed pitching. So, Tris Speaker. Here's the pitch from Gibson. Speaker sends this one back out to center field. Willie Mays, great range out there, makes the catch, and we've got 2 away. So here's Babe Herman, flown out and grounded out. And he strikes out. So again, 1-1 game as we go through 6 innings. We got the big clue here. It's flown out to deep center and deep right center. And he sends this one hard into right field, and the big clue just murdered one. A line drive over that wall. It got out of here fast. And we got a 2-1 game. And I know Big Clue, it's got to hurt to see that guy. Yeah, as John Cougar Mellencamp once said, it hurt so good. So here's Dick Allen. Notice all runs scored today on the long ball. Here looks like a little one over Wilson's head, gets down in front of Berkman, so we got a single. Dick Allen on it first. Makes me wonder if I go to some small ball here. I don't think it's time for that yet. So here's Greinke with the pitch. Oh, we got time called. Freehand wants to come out and have a conversation, and we are in a rain delay. Oh boy, now we're going to have to check pitchers and see what kind of stamina and issues we've got. And Greinke is out with a very sore arm. So let's see. Tell me who you want to come in, Clue. Who are we going to go with, Big Clue, now that Greinke on the rain delay? 3 runs in the game total, all on home runs. Chino Smith hit one in the first. Eddie Cicotte. And here we go. Cicotte is now in. Albert Bell up. And Bell sends one down to first base. Camilli's going to make the play at first, and that will be it. Allen will move to second, and Buster Posey steps up with one away. Posey sends one through the right side. Herman grabbing it. 41% chance to go home. I'm going to say no. We only got 1 out. Don't want to make that play, so we got Adrian Beltre stepping up. Get Cicotte. Let me see what kind of lefties I've got. I've got George Gore. I'm going to pinch hit. I'm going to bring a lefty in here, see if I can give me a better chance to get another run. So I got George Gore here. You can see a beautiful picture in his Sunday's best. And we've got Gore in. Here's the pitch to Gore. Gore sends this one single into left field. That's going to get Dick Allen in, and we got a 3-1 ball game. Still 1 away from Miguel Tejada. The pitch, Tejada sends this one out to center field. Speaker's made several putouts. Makes another one for the second out. And evidently it was a great play, and he gets the throw in to keep Posey from tagging up. So we got 2 away. Chino Smith up. Smith sends another one out, going out to center field. And we've got this one. That's a murdered ball off the wall. And that should clear the bases. And Smith is digging for third, and he will be in safe with the triple. Hornsby up. Oh, Cicotte not happy with what's going on and pegs Hornsby with a knuckleball. So I don't think he was throwing at him if it was a knuckleball, but let's see what we've got. Pitch to Mays. Mays sends this one out the left field. Looks like Berkman should make the play to get out of the inning, and he does. And here we are at the 7th inning stretch. We got a 5-1 Albuquerque lead. We've got to replace Adrian Beltre at third base. Let's see who I've got. One reason I picked up Bill Monroe in that draft is having the ability for him as a great fielder. I'm going to bring Bill Monroe in at third base. And here we are. Dolph Camilli stepping in. Camilli's walked and struck out. And this time he lines a single right through the right side. Leadoff single. Camilli is on at first. Gibson's pitch count is only 81. We did have that rain delay. And it looks like because of that rain delay, it looks like Gibson will probably be right around 100 pitches over probably about a 135 to 140 would be his normal expected pitch count. So I'm going to keep an eye on him. And it's never a good sign when the catcher has to go talk to the pitcher. And here comes Berkman. Klazuski's got it. He's going to get the lead runner. Won't have time to get over to first. And Berkman's safe in the fielder's choice. One away. Mickey Mantle hit that solo homer back in the fifth. Here's the pitch from Gibson. Mantle sends one into right field, down to the wall. Looks like he's going to dig for two. He's safe, and Berkman is into third. And we've got runners at second and third with one away. Gibson. Got Bob Gibson. Let me pitch around. I don't want to give up anything. If we walk him, that's fine. Looks like this one's going to go out to Chino Smith in right field. Makes the catch. Tagging will be Berkman. No throw. And we've got a 5-2 game. Here's Alan Trammell. Trammell, grounder to Tejada. Tejada's got it. Over to Klazuski, and the inning is over. So after 7, it's a 5-2 Albuquerque lead. Eddie Seacott still on the mound. The big clue stepping up. He hit a rope over that right field line his last time up. He hits this one out to center field. And he is out. Dick Allen steps up. He hits one out to left field. This one's going way back. Berkman with the catch. A lot of fly balls Albuquerque's hit out there. Albert Bell up. Bell's grounded out twice and struck out. Seacott, this one's hit pretty hard. Sounds hard. It's back. Berkman's back to get it. It's off the wall. Albert Bell will stand up into second with a double. And we got a 2-out double from Bell with Buster Posey stepping in. And, looks like on the replay, they give Posey the free pass. Interesting. To pitch to Bill Monroe. Makes sense, too. Eddie Seacott with the pitch. Bill Monroe puts this one on the ground. Lajoie gets it, and that will get him out of the inning. So looks like the AI made a nice little maneuver there for you, Big Clue. And now this troubles me. It says Gibson's okay. That means I should be worried enough to ask. So let's just see. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Been a rain delay, but Gibson is still on the mound. Bill Monroe, good range at third, makes the play and gets Freehan out. Lajoie up now. Lajoie pops one up. Big pop up in the infield. And Tejada is under it and gets the out. So we have 2 away. Gibson is now in the red. Let me see if I can just get him through this inning. Speaker in here. Ground ball. Gibson makes the play himself. He's a Gold Glover on the as far as fielding range. And through 8, it's 5-2 Albuquerque. So Seacott's still on the mound. Miguel Tejada up to bat. And he'll send this one past Wilson and just digs it out for a double. Let me know, Clue, if we're going to ride Seacott or you want somebody different here. I'll take a little moment. Get me a drink of agua here. Look at Big Clue. He's always asking for something. He sounds like me. He's always asking for something to be better. Big Clue's hardly ever happy. Giving him a hard time. I'm the same way. It's like, oh, this is good. I like it, but let's just put a little bit extra on here, right? So here we go. C-Cod in. We got big day for Geno Smith. He hit that solo homer. Then he tripled off the wall, deep center, scored a couple runs. So he's knocked 3 in today. Yeah, the professional wet blanket. I love it. Constructive criticism is what we're going to chalk it up to, Clue. That's what I say. And here's Geno Smith. And he sends this one out to right field. Babe Herman makes the catch and gets it in. Tejada will stay at second, 1 away for Roger Hornsby. Be nice to get some insurance runs because Clue's team can hit. And we get another free pass, setting up the double play. This one, here's Willie Mays, who has flown out 3 times and has a single on the day. Willie Mays sends this one out to center field. I think Speaker's had about 7 or 8 putouts out there. And Speaker will make that catch. And we will not send Tejada to third. And we got 2 away. Here's the big Clue. And he grounds this one. Lajoie gets it, and it's over to first. So this is time to get your rally caps on. So I don't know if Big Clue, wherever he might be today, watching this broadcast, if he is turning his hat inside out. I think I've seen enough of Gibson. He's pitched a great game here today. And let me see who I can go with. Let me see who we've got coming up. So we've got a couple of lefties and then Berkman. You know what? It really sucks, but it's nice to have a guy like Dutch Leonard on the bench. But you know what? Let's just go with a real closer, a left-handed closer here. I'm going to enter Jesse Orozco here. Babe Herman sends this one back, and that's a horrible decision by me. It's off that tall wall there, and Babe Herman is in there with a leadoff double. Dolph Camilli in. Jesse Orozco here, and he walks it. So what a great idea, my managerial strategy here of bringing in a lefty to face these two. I've seen enough of Orozco that he can just leave right now. Let's bring in this monster who has a strikeout percentage of 41, this Liam Hendricks. And see how another true closer works in this game. Lance Berkman steps in. He sends this one out to right field. And are you kidding me? Off the wall. And throw home, not with a 1% chance. Wow. It's a 5-4 ball game, Clue. The worst thing I did is try these actual closers, Orozco and now Liam Hendricks. So here's Mickey Mantle against Hendricks. The pitch. And Mantle strikes out. That's what Hendricks is in for. He's got a huge strikeout percentage. I'm going to walk him. Try to set up the double play for Trammell. Here's the pitch. Ah, he wild pitches him. Okay. I'm gonna walk him. I'm gonna walk him up, and here's what I'm gonna go. Oh boy, I'm getting nervous. Let's get that pitch from Hendricks. See if he can get a strikeout here or something even better. And we got one going out to center field here. Could be Mays making the play. It's deep. He's deep. This should get the run home to tie this game up. He will not throw home, and that will keep the runners there. And we have 2 away. This Hendricks and Orozco been really tough, so I'm coming in. I'm going to enter Tom Hughes to pitch, man. I'm like Sparky Anderson getting the hook out here. Here's the pitch to Lajoie. Lajoie gets it. He's going to send this one into left field. There's going to be a play at the plate. I got a 4% chance to keep from losing this game in the bottom of the ninth. And here comes the throw, and it will not be in time. And big clue, I don't know what you did with that rally cap, if you turned your shirt, your shorts inside out or what, but look at that, a squandered 4-run lead in the bottom of the ninth. Showing in this league, no run may be safe at any time. So let's take a look at how this happened. Quite a game here. Chino Smith and Klaczewski for the Coyotes sticking out. Take a look at the batting lines here. Ten hits for Albuquerque. We got 7 hits for Cleveland. I'd have to be wearing shorts to have done that, so good to know. Really some great pitching up until right here. The only 3 pitchers that we can blame are the 3 that I chose to bring in. Greinke pitched a great game. Seacott came in and gave up a couple runs, but man, Orozco, Hendricks, and then Tom Hughes blew it for Gibson. Gibson had a great game, only gave up 4 hits, struck out 7. And you'll notice Gibson, if we look back retrospectively, had some plus stuff for the game. These are little things you don't know till after the game. And we'll notice, like if I didn't know, Hendricks had a little bit of minus stuff here on the day. So miscellaneous, we can see who game-winning RBI by Lajoie. A little recap. A fun game, a fun game, a fun game for sure. So yeah, just thought I would come on today to highlight the file, show off some of the player photos, some of the team names and logos were getting worked out, and it turned out to be a fun game. Score sheet complete. The Cleveland Spiders pull it out. Now, what's interesting, I don't know if anybody can hear there. The game's over, and I'm still hearing. I'm still hearing the sound effects inside the game. And there we go. I just closed the game out and made those sound effects shut down. So yeah, had some fun with this one. Let me pull up some of the and see some of the players. It's a logo I was working on a little bit earlier, but just some of the cards that we got going on for. Here's some of the logos that we're working on here. If anybody hasn't seen, there's whoops, I was getting a model of one for. You wanted the Sarnia Sluggers, so we've got this one for right here. This is the Sarnia Sluggers. That'll be Aaron Reed's, or I'm sorry, World's Worst Gamers logo that we'll be putting into there. Yeah, definitely a rowdy crowd at Cleveland. Some of the player photos right here. See some notable ones here. Some of the fun ones that were to go back into the old days, right? You got Cap Anson here. Trying to see who else. We've got some of the older ones were fun trying to create. Got George Gore, who's on my team. Got Jack Glasscock here, who an older player. So again, just trying to get the window dressing set up, having the And I do know what you mean, Beatles. It'll be like making sure that we have some of the similar parks. Once we know what everybody's ballparks are, right, making sure we have a couple really cool images to use for each of those parks that we can I'll distribute to you. Same thing with like the team logos and all that, player photos. So that way there'll be some consistency when, Beatles is firing up a game and broadcasting it, or if I'm broadcasting some games as well, they'll see some consistency across the board with that good stuff. Who else do we have in here? Some fun pitchers that I've done recently, or just regular players. Got Roger Clemens in there. Trying to think, MV's got this guy, Rafael Almeida, as one of his catchers. So how about this? I don't know if anybody's got some time if I fired up another game. You guys let me know. I've probably got another 30 minutes or so. I could do another quick game if we want to see who have I got players ready for. I think Todd B is out for the afternoon here. MV's team is completely done. We have, I think Aaron Reed's team's done. Beatles team is done as far as player photos. Um, Ken Castro's isn't yet. World's Worst Gamer is, but no more of my team. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go exhibition team. Let's play at Beatles team. Let me see what we've got for Beatles, by the way. Sportsman Park 3. I think we'll be set up for there. So let's take MV. Let's take the MVs, which is Manchester, over here, and we'll go against Mudville, which is Beatles. Let's try this game out. Let's see what happens here. So here we go. Here we go. Who would MV want to pitch? You know who you want to pitch? How about we throw Vita Blue? And let's look at the opponent. And Beatles, you want to throw something in here and let me know if you're still around, Beatles, who you'd like to see pitch on your team. Do we have a Vita Blue versus Catfish? Two teammates going against each other? Beatles' strength on his team is not around the pitching. Oh, let's go with Kid Nichols. Cool. Let's get the computer lineup here. I'd ask Beatles about his lineup, but I don't have any of that kind of patience right now like he does. He's very patient while he waits for people to give him lineups. I'm nowhere near that way. But I'm just going to pretend if I was Beatles, what do we see here? He's going up against a lefty. So let's take a look at OPS versus lefties. And Musial's a lefty, but he still does great against lefties. We're definitely going to want, I think, Rip Bachman. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Beatles deserves to have Bachman play in the game for him. So I like Ripper Collins at DH. And I like Bachman. Um, versus lefty. Yeah, let's keep that in here. I like Musial. Oh, yeah, Mookie Betts is there. I might have to have Musial on the bench, Beatles, because you're going against a lefty. Third baseman, he's got Yost in there. He is. Yost. You know what? The heck with this. Beatles drafted him. We're going to play Bachman at second because we all have to see Bachman if he does anything here. And I think I'm going to make a command decision for Beatles, and I'm going to put Mad Dog Madlock in at third base. Just what I want to do. See if Beatles has any. He's got Manuel Cueto at short. Hey, Dick Groat sounds good. Let's get Ripper Collins up there. He's got bench. Let's just roll with this team right here. So you got Clyde Barnhart out and left. So let's view the opponent. And we got Nichols. And so I'm going to put the pitcher back in, right? Apply to blue. But here's what it's telling me. It wants to run for MV. He's got Bonds. He's got Gehrig. He's got Sosa, Hamilton. OPS versus right. For a DH, Lefty O'Doul is a better DH than Pettis. Al Rosen at third base. I mean, I think he's going to want Trout in center regardless. So we got Sosa, Lefty O'Doul, Rosen, Dahlin, and Almeida at catcher. Yeah, let's do it.
Play ball.
And here we are at Sportsman 3. Nice little field we've got here. So let's take a look at great weather today. No wind, sunny day. I guess I can just go right into the computer versus computer and let it run here. We got Joe Morgan leading it off. This is a couple people that I really scared of on Big Clue's team, and that's Joe Morgan and Lou Gehrig. What the heck just happened with that, too? It's the second time that's happened. It's like it froze on me when I went to do a pitch like that. So interesting. Crazy. It's bringing in different games, different teams. It's just crazy. It does, and I've got the latest patch that may not even be out yet, too, Beatles. Just so you know, I'm trying to patch out because I'm a beta tester. So let's go back to the resume. Let's resume Manchester, Mudville. See what we do. Okay, let's get it all back. Let's try this all again. Morgan's still on base this time. See what we got. Oh, Nichols is trying to keep him close. And Trout walks. So Kid Nichols has walked the first two batters. Got Barry Bonds up. Look at this. Look, 1.3 OPS. It's just a crazy, crazy year for Bonds. And we got a deep fly ball to right field. He's headed back, and Mookie Betts makes the play. And here comes the throw. Morgan tagging, and he makes it, and Trout follows right behind him, and we've got both runners advanced into scoring position. And Lou Gehrig up. Man, Menvey has a tough lineup as well here. Gehrig sends this one out to left field. Morgan should be tagging. And here's the throw in, but not to the plate. Morgan takes a 1-0 lead for, I'm calling him MV, but it's the Manchester Red Bolts. And Sosa out to Barnhart and left, who makes the catch. And After one, it's Manchester 1, Mudville coming to bat. So here's Andrew McCutcheon, the leadoff hitter.
Ball four. Take your base.
And he takes his base. Stepping up next is Bill Madlock. Madlock out to right field. Sosa catches the line drive. Or no, it must be down. Must have got by him. Couldn't come up with it after he dove, and it goes all the way to the gap for extra bases. Now we got runners at second and third. So Albert Pujols stepping up for the Mudville 9. Ground ball. Rosen over to first. McCutcheon will score. Madlock to third, and we have one away. The runner at third base.
Foul ball.
Foul ball for Betts. Ground ball to Rosen. He bobbles it. Madlock.
Now up to bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ripper Collins.
If you guys remember that, some of these players that I was trying around with the announcer, right? And it's still stuck in the game, so it's pretty cool. So it knows Ripper Collins. Collins out to center field. Mike Trout should make the play. He does, and we've got two away now. 2-1 Mudville lead. Johnny Bench coming to the plate. Bench with the ground ball. And it's him for the out. So we got Lefty O'Doul, who's DHing for Manchester as they come to the plate. Kid Nichols still on the mound for Lefty O'Doul, and he sends one out into right center. Yeah, it is fun. You just never know, right? Here's Al Rosen, third baseman, and he strikes out. Bill Dolan at shortstop. Great pickup for MV in the later rounds. He gets one right up the middle, and he'll be safe with a single. O'Doul at second, one away. And here, if MV has any weakness, it's his catching. He's got Johnny Bassler. Yeah, Big Clue, I appreciate that. I think the logos are a blast, right? You know, I'm like, hey, let me try to find a logo that matches kind of whatever the mascot is for the team. Cleveland Spiders had some stuff out there that was easy, but had to get creative with these other ones. But here's Almeida at catcher. Sends a ball out to right. Mookie Betts, a 10 in right field along with a strong bat, will make the catch and get it in to prevent the tag. So Joe Morgan, who walked in the first inning, and he grounds it to Grote at shortstop. Grote gets the force out to Bachman at second base, and we got a 2-1 game still. Here comes Vida Blue looking to settle down. Clyde Barnhart steps in. And strikes out. Vida Blue, good strikeout pitcher. Here's Wally Bachman. Bachman lines one right back to Morgan for the second out of the inning. Brings up Dick Grote. And Grote singles into right center. And he's digging for second. And he'll get in there just ahead of the tag. So Grote with a 2-out double. He's living in Mom's basement in West Virginia, Big Clue. Don't forget. So, yeah. Here's Andrew McCutcheon. And he walks. Tell you what, Beatles team looks like they're going to give MV a tough matchup today. Here's Madlock. Madlock with a ground ball. Al Rosen's got it at third, over to second, and that will get the third out of the inning. So after two, it's a 2-1 Mudville lead. Beatles, you're just a middle of the pack kind of guy, according to MV in his testing. Here's Mike Trout. He sends one back up the middle. Bachman can't make it, and Trout's on with a leadoff single. So here's Barry Bonds. This is the scary part of the lineup when you got Trout and then
Strike three.
Bonds strikes out, and now we got Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, with one away. And looks like a bobble. What was that? It's a wild pitch. Trout takes second. So now we got a runner in scoring position for Gehrig, and Gehrig was intentionally walked. So setting up a ground ball double play for Sammy Sosa. Sosa lines it to Madlock at third, who makes the catch. Lefty O'Doul steps in. He singled to right center his last time up. And he does the same down to right field. And will they hold the runner? Nope. They send Trout home, no throw, and we've got a tie ball game, folks. Al Rosen steps in, hits a hard one. This one's way back. It's like it's going to be caught by Barnhart for the third out. So after 2.5, it's a 2-2 ball game. Probably Beatles' heart of his order coming up here with Pujols and Betts and Ripper Collins. Pujols lines to Rosen for the first out. Mookie Betts, this is that 2020 season extrapolated out, 292 hitter, 43 homers, at 10 in right field. A really good pickup for a year that Beatles didn't want, let's put it that way.
Now
And he
up to
lines
bat
out.
for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ripper Collins.
There's the Ripper. I know Ripper's a fan favorite and a favorite of Beatles. It's going to ground up. Morgan with good range gets it over to Gehrig, and that will be the third out. So 3 innings complete, and it is a 2-2. That's big clue. That's a voice that I use. I use the Microsoft, what's that program called? Where you can use the neural voices. And I had it read I typed in the stuff, I had it read it, and I'd mess with the pitch, and then I recorded it and was going to use that for walk-up music for certain players. And I'd been testing that out, and I forgot that I have it assigned to Ripper Collins because I'd done that for the Detroit Cardinal game that Beatles and I played. So here's Bill Dolan, a late pickup for Beatles. I keep forgetting to hit the computer. I got to hit computer so it will do its managerial. So here's Almeida. No outs. Trying to keep Dolan close. Almeida drops a bunt, and it'll move the runner over to second. So Joe Morgan steps in. He walked in the first. Joe Morgan's an on-base guru. Sends one way out to right field. Betts is going to track it down. Dolan will tag, but he will not advance to third. So 2 away for Mike Trout. Trout gets this grounder down to Madlock. Madlock picks it up, fires over, and just gets Trout in time. Pretty good play for a 3 range for Madlock over there. So here comes Johnny Bench. Bench sends one out into right center. He's aboard with the first hit of the inning. Clyde Barnhart, Pittsburgh player. Beatles is quite the homer, if you know what I mean, when it comes to Pittsburgh players. And here's one of them. So here's the pitch, and Barnhart delivers, and we've got the first 2 runners aboard here in the bottom of the 4th. And here's the guy you'd one up if you ever wanted to bunt. A 10-rated bunt, Wally Bachman. And big clue, I got a bundle. I bought the PS5 last month when my grandkids were coming. Hint, hint. That was they love it, by the way. And I got the God of War bundle myself. But Beatles, let's see what the AI does. Will the AI bunt with Bachman? It does not, and it ground ball to Dolan, who's over to first, and turns the double play. So we've got 2 out.
Can't tell the players without a program.
I would have probably used Bachman to bunt. The computer didn't, but Grote grounds it to Dolan. Dolan over to first, and they're going to get out of that jam. let the first two runners on and get out of the jam. So here's Bonds stepping up. Bonds has flown out and struck out. Kid Nichols gives up a hit, and it looks like this one is sailing. Will it get out of here? It's going to be off the wall. No. It's into the seats. I kept thinking we're in Shibe Park, and that is a home run, giving Manchester a 3-2 lead. It's just tough, Beatles, with your pitchers have to face, Trout or Morgan, Trout, Bonds, Gehrig, Soso. I mean, it's a lot of power. Here's Lou Gehrig. He sends one out to McCutcheon, center field, and he's going to make the catch. Sammy Sosa steps in, and he strikes out. 2 away for Lefty O'Doul. Lefty has 2 singles today. And he sends this one opposite field. Barnhart chasing it down, and he gets it to get out of the inning. So 3-2 game, top of the order for Beatles. And Beatles, if you want to throw something in there, if you want to see a player come in or an extra batter or something, or you're tired of seeing a guy and you want another guy in there, just let me know. Here's Andrew McCutcheon. Ground ball to Rosen. Up with the throw in time. Here's Bill Madlock. He's had a double and ground out. Madlock sends a single into left field, and he's on board. So he's 2 for 3 today. Base runner for Albert Pujols has a huge OPS here. And against the lefty, Pujols sends one out. This one could be out of here. No, Bonds makes the catch at the wall. 2 away for Mookie Betts. Ooh, and he's back in time. Worried about Mad Dog Madlock stealing. Yeah, he's a decent run. See what Betts has here. Betts on the ground. Dahlin a 10 at short. Over to Gehrig. And not in time. Betts beats the throw.
Now up to bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ripper Collins.
And here comes the Ripper. 2 outs today. Looking for his first hit. Oh, he strikes him out. If anyone's noticed, I did a bunch of the sounds, extra sounds I downloaded, and started assigning at different segments where they'll pop up percentage-wise, just to kind of vary up some of the vendor sounds and the organ music and all that. And I'm starting to hear some of those coming through. So here we go, 3-2, Manchester lead. Looking to add to it, we've got Al Rosen, strong hitting third baseman from the Cardinals. And Rosen grounds it over to Grote, who makes the throw to Pujols, and we have 1 away. Here's Bill Dahlin. Dahlin sends this one out into left field, lands in front of Barnhart, so we've got Dahlin aboard with 1 away. And what I would call weak hitting Rafael Almeida. And Nichols pitches it. Dahlin breaks for second, trying to steal, and Nichols and Johnny Bench with the pitch out, he gets fired out. So let me tell you what. Look at that play there the AI made for you, Beatles. Nice call on the pitch out, and they got that runner out. Here's Almeida, nobody on. Singles into right field. Joe Morgan steps in with a runner on. Trying to keep Almeida close. And Morgan strikes out. So after 5.5, Manchester's still with that 1-run lead. And Johnny Bench up at the plate pops this one out to left field. Barry Bonds makes a web gem. Must have caught it behind his back. We got 1 away. Here's Clyde Barnhart. got a hit his last time up. He gets one right up the middle over Morgan into center field, and he's on first with one away. Wally Backman up at the plate. Beals, you tell me, what do we do with Backman? Do we let him hit away, or do we try to bunt this guy over with one out and move him into scoring position? I'm going to wait for Beatles to make this call. This is his man Bachman. Bachman is a .320 hitter. Not strong against lefty hitters, though. Or do we pinch hit and get Bachman the hell out of this game, Beatles? You tell me. I'm going to wait for Beatles to tell me what to do. Do we bunt? Do we hit away, or do we get Bachman the hell out of there? You know what? Let's get Bachman out of there. Let's get a righty that can face a lefty. Righties coming in here. We've got wow, got Larry Doyle. Must be really good against lefties. You know what I'm going to do? Let's bring in Larry Doyle. Larry Doyle is in the game and strikes out. Here's Dick Grote, the shortstop. He sends one back up the middle. Should be an easy play for Morgan, who has time to get it to Gehrig for the last out. So we saw Bachman. That was long enough to give Beatles a little bit of crap. Now we can get Larry Doyle in at second base. Kid Nichols still on the mound today, pitching to Mike Trout, who sends one into left field for a single. And now he's on base with Bonds stepping up. Bonds hit a home run solo shot last time up. Bonds on the ground. Doyle's got it over to second. Not in time for the relay to first. Lead runner gone. One away. So here's Lou Gehrig. Big hitter. Gehrig sends this one out into left or center field. Andrew McCutchen looks like he made easy play. And we have two away with Sammy Sosa coming to the plate, who's struck out, lined out, and flown out today. He's 0 for 3. Sosa puts this one on the ground. Dick Grote has it over to Doyle, gets the lead runner, and that will end the inning. And here we are, the 7th inning stretch. Andrew McCutchen's drawn 2 walks today. Kind of went by the wayside. I didn't remember if he'd been on base at all, but he's been on 2 out of the 3 times. So let's see if Beatles can put a rally together. And here's McCutchen. McCutchen walks. He's drawn 3 walks. Let me take a look at this guy's card. Here's Madlock. Sends this ball up. Oh, it gets past Morgan into center field. So we got the first 2 runners aboard for the Mudville Nines, with their big hitter, Albert Pujols, at the plate. Here comes out Almeida to talk to Blue. Blue's got over 110 pitches so far. Pujols sends this one out to left field. Headed back. Barry Bonds makes the catch. Gets it into third. Runners won't advance, and we've got 1 away for Mookie Betts. There's Blue. Blue's can go a long way. He's got an EPC probably close to 140. Here's Mookie Betts. Strikes out.
Now up to bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ripper Collins.
And here's Ripper Collins, who has been 0 for 3 today, looking for a hit. This would be the time. Ripper Collins sends this one. Looks like it's going to be a foul that gets out of play. Full count, 2 out, 2 men on. Quite the showdown here between Collins and Blue. Blue looking to get out of here. Collins looking to tie this ball game up or better. Collins sends this one out center field. Going deep back is Mike Trout, and Trout makes the catch to get out of the inning. I know Beatles was hoping to maybe even things up or pull ahead there, but we get out of that inning, and after 7, it's still 3-2 Manchester. Nichols still on the mound. He started the game. O'Doul sends this one right back at McCutchen, who makes the out. 1 away. Here's Al Rosen. 0 for 3 on the day. Rosen sends this out to center field. It's like McCutchen should make this catch. He does. 2 away for Bill Dahlin. Bill Dahlin pulls this one foul down the left base line, or the third base line. And Dahlin walks. Dahlin was thrown out stealing in his last attempt. This is Almeida. In this situation, let's see what the computer does. Oh, throwing over at Dahlin. Oh, what's going on? What happened there? Looks like a wild pitch. Dahlin goes to third, bench fires, and he's safe. So Almeida up, and we got a ball right back to Dick Grote, who makes a great catch. And after 7.5, still Manchester 3, Mudville 2. So here's Beatles. I don't know if he's got his rally cap on just yet, but Vida Blue's getting close to his pitch count. So let's see. Ooh, he fans bench, so he's still looking pretty good here. Here's Clyde Barnhart. And just when I was thinking if Blue needed to come out, he fans the first 2 batters, and here's Larry Doyle. And Blue fans the entire side, so it looks like Beatles will have to wait until the 9th inning for that rally. So let me know, Beatles, if you want to stick with Kid Nichols. It says he's strong. I hate it when they remind me of that because it's usually a sign of bad things, but if you want to stick with Nichols, that's great. If you want somebody else to come in here, let me know. Give it a second here. I do have to say, the game looks nice when you stay with Nichols. You got it. Here's the pitch to Morgan, but it does look nice, some of these parks, having the player cards, logos, everything, getting their team colors in there. Things are starting to look good. Ooh, Morgan sends this one out into center field. McCutchen going back, and it's going to be out of here. Woo! Little Joe Morgan sends that one out. A 363-foot homer into right center, and it's a 4-2 game. So Kid Nichols stays in the game, gives up an extra run. So there's another line drive to Grout. He's had a couple of those today. Gets the first out of the inning, and here's Bonds. Bonds sends this a single into right field, and Kid Nichols is getting roughed up a little bit. So I'm not even going to wait for Beatles. Let's take a look at. We got Gehrig and then O'Doul. Let's take a look what's on Beatles' bench as far as pitchers here. Yeah, now pulling. Let's see who looks good. Beatles is really limited on left-handed pitching. Not only does he, so, not a lot of true relievers here. Okay, I got display starters too. The problem is Osteen's pretty much just a straight starter. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Deacon Philippe, Beatles. Beatles has a non-traditional bullpen, which means not a lot of options. And here's Lou Gehrig. So Deacon Philippe in relief. And strikes out Gehrig. So I guess that was good. Trying to give Beatles a little bit of a chance here. Ground ball to Grote. Grote's played a pretty good game. Gets that lead runner. We're out of the inning. So Blue may be out of gas. So I'm going to go pull a reliever in here. And Beatles, you start telling me if we want pinch hitters, because being down, I don't know if Dick Groat's the guy you're going to want to bat once I pick a pitcher. Who should we bring in relief with MVs? Well, he's got a great reliever here in Al Benton. Looks good. We have Tom Hankey. You know what? Let's use a reliever. We'll bring in Tom Hankey. He got him for a reason. Let's let him relieve. What do you like, Beatles? We've got Dick Groat up, righty on righty. I don't like, let's see if we got better options here. Oh, here's what I say. Vada Pinson's got a 25.7% chance of a hit. That's what I say. This guy led the league in our replay, so let's bring Pinson in to pinch hit. It still leaves us Musial. Some more music that I've added that's getting a turn in here. Here's Vada Pinson stepping in against Tom Hankey. And Pinson grounds it back to Dolan, who's going to make the out and just beat Pinson over. So we got Andrew McCutcheon stepping in. 23% chance for a hit. Yeah, we'll keep him in. Maybe we'll see what McCutcheon can do here. He's walked 3 times. He's walked 4 times today. I was going to look at this guy and say, what's going on with McCutcheon? Look at that. 4 walks. Let me go pull him up. McCutcheon on the season walked 84 times, and in today's game, he's walked quite a bunch. Awesome. Oh, we're looking for the steal. Are you sure you want to steal? He's only 35%. Stolen base 86. His jump's about 35%. I'm going to steal. I'm going to do what Beatles says. And he catches him stealing. Oh, Beatles. Dang. Let's do this. Gosh, I don't have a chance to go back. I think football has that recall last play or whatever, right? I don't think we have it in baseball, or I don't know how to do it, or I'd go back and do that. But anyway, it's fine. I got Madlock in here, who's a 20% hitter, and here's what I'm going to do. We got a guy like Musial on the bench. He's a few more percentage points hitter. We got to get Musial in the game here. We're down to 2 outs. Stan the man stepping in. And he sends this one up back into center. Is it down? It looks like it'll drop in, so Musial is on base. So we have Pujols up with the tying run at the plate. 1.7 chance of a home run. Must be Hankey doesn't give up a bunch. So let's take a look at what we get here. I doubt we're going to get a better option than Pujols. Here's Pujols, and he walks, so it's not over, Beatles. I guess you could pull your shorts inside out, whatever Big Clue did, your hat, your shirt. Big bat up here, Mookie Betts. I don't think we got anybody better. Betts has got the highest percentage right here, I think. A lot of power. Here's the pitch. Uh-oh, Almeida's going out to get the sign. Worried about what Hankey's throwing, and we've walked the bases loaded.
Now up to bat for the St. Louis Cardinals, Ripper Collins.
Great thing about Ripper Collins is he's a switch hitter, so you got Ripper up, bases loaded, Hankey still in the game. Almeida coming out to the mound again. Collins sends this ball out into left field. Opposite field shot. Bonds back, and Bonds is bobbling it. Oh man. Bonds bobbles it, and what's the play-by-play here say? It says he grabbed it with his other hand, so that was almost an error that would have probably let 2 runs score. A little bit of drama here in Mudville, but Manchester pulls out the 4-2 win. What a play! Wow, fun game. So glad I could come on and show off the file, have a couple fun games. They were both great games. I mean, both teams in it right down to the last at bat, and I think that's going to be a lot of this league. I just really do. I mean, there may be some games where there's some blowouts, but there's the way we have these teams. There's just nobody that's really out of it in the last inning. So it should be some fun games. Who stands out? Well, for Manchester, Bonds hit that home run 2 for 5, bobbled the last play but caught it with his bare hand. Over here, what a surprise, right? Madlock goes 3 for 4. I made that decision to start him because, hey, he's a Pittsburgh homer and I like Mad Dog Madlock. Uh, had a really good game. Wally Bachman 0 for 2. Maybe if we'd have started Doyle instead of trying to rub Bachman into Beatles, he might have had a better chance, but it's a fun game. Vida Blue pitched 8 innings. Nichols went 8.1. Deacon Philippe came in relief, but it's a fun game. And we can see game-winning RBI by Bonds, but just so much fun with the team with the pinch hitting options, the bullpen option. Well, unless you're Beatles, there's a lot of bullpen options. Um, couldn't let that go by without saying. But still some strategy over how do you set these lineups, right? We got deep teams, so platooning, defense, pinch hitting, all that stuff, right? Fun stuff. So with that, we had 2 great test games today, starting to get the teams assembled with the team names and the logos and all that good stuff. And I will be working on, I'll just take a look at my team for sure. And I think if we look at roster tools for nicknames and uniform numbers and that, I can go through here real quick. Like, I know some of these will be wrong, right? The big unit. The big unit has stuck on everything, but that's Doc. So I'll be going through here, some of the known nicknames. Salida Tom, I've done. The left arm of God, right? I can get some of these. Can't type here. I'll have to go through and get these all cleaned up once I get all the pictures in there. Little Joe, wrong. Anyway, it'll be fun. Prince Hal. So that'll be kind of cleanup this week. I'll call it like some cleaning up, getting the photo packs done this week. When people come up with team names and parks, getting those assembled and just testing the file out and making sure we don't have any lingering bugs and something like we've seen where as soon as we get the first runner on, it won't let us do that computer thing, or it's kind of like freezing right there. It happened 2 games in a row. I've never seen anything like that, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's fun play testing these, showing them off. Um, it was fun. So yeah, glad you could join us. And yeah, too bad Beatles. I didn't see that hit and run in time because I'd have gone hit and run and you might have had a chance. But still, 2 great games. So we got to see Mudville, Beatles team. We got to see my team in action. Big Clues, the Cleveland Spiders, and we got to see MV's Manchester Red Bolt. So next time, maybe later in the week as we get some more of the teams, maybe I'll pop in with like a lunchtime, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'll have to look at my schedule and maybe do some more exhibition games as we get the league file assembled even further. So had fun today. Hopefully MV will get a chance to watch this. Ken Castro's instituted no tolerance. The sweet clams will don proper attire on the road. Well, let's take a look at the sweet clams clams lineup to see if we've got anybody violating that right now. So let's take a look at this. We've got some of his photos done. So we've got Ernie Banks, clean shaven. Feller, yeah, clean shaven. That's not the right nickname. Uh, Here's the problem, Ken. I don't know what we're going to do with Bryce Harper. I don't know if there's a clean shaven photo of him. That could be trouble for you. Who else we got over there? Feaster, yeah, clean shaven. Pete Rose, it's good. Mike Schmidt, I don't know. I don't know if we have one without that stash. Um, I don't know if I've got any other players. Yeah, so I'll have to look. Ted Williams, yeah, got a few different pictures here for Ted Williams. But yeah, you have to let me know if we want to have your clean shaven look. I've got nice little logo here for the Ocean City Sweet Clams. Ocean State, I should say. Ocean State Clams. So yeah, having fun with this. I'm gonna call it a day. Man, had a blast, man. So I'll probably come back in the middle of the week or something, maybe do some more. But yeah, if you've got put them on Discord, if you've got any of your names picked out or ballparks and years you want, or if there's any changes, and yeah, feel free to have fun with trades and just post the trades in Discord when they go down, and I can make those changes as well. So see everybody sometime in the near future.